Hi Scorpio, welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Scorpio, this is your love reading starting today on the 14th of July, and I'm going to do it a bit differently today because of some stuff. And so I'm going to start with the normal cards, and then I'm going to do with the abnormal cards. No, I'm not. Typical reading for you for love, and then I'm going to go into a silent version at the end of the reading to sort of reset, reboot, take you back to your blueprint, if you will. And then I'm gonna explain closer when we get there. And then I'm gonna do the extended. That is sort of like a after reading, after what happens when you've gotten back with your blueprint. And you're gonna feel if you feel drawn to that or not. Then the link is in the description box. But I have to start off with saying that just sitting here taking a few breaths, I started to see all these purple dots, and it's not weird that I see color or anything like that. It just came out very particular, and it felt like it was a message for you. So maybe there's an addition to just the purple for me is all about the spirit and all about how the spirit or your spiritual path is now connecting the dots. That's what it felt like. So I think that's like a mini message. It's very specific, so it might just be for one or two people out there. Yes, that was it. So today's date is 14, which is absolutely gorgeous for this reading, for this very particular reading, because 12 in numerology is all about the masculine energy, and 13 is all about the divine feminine. And then I've taken my own right to say 14 is the follow-up to 12 and 13. What? 14 comes after 13. It's just that, and this is not the unique frequency, it's just that how it has played out over time, that 14 has become very significant in that it has sort of morphed into something else than what it started with when I started to do these readings and when I started with numerology. Is that 14 has sort of become this very gorgeous, soft, kind, nourishing, trustworthy. It just has it all. It's just such a loving number. 14 in itself is a new beginning with the number 1, and the heart with the number 4, and laying a new foundation. But then it's like so beautiful that 14 is sort of speaking about the next level in terms of unconditional love. And I don't really want to put a label on it because I don't really truly know what it means. It's just something that I kept experiencing, and so that's also why I choose 14 cards for this silent part at the end of the reading. So beautiful frequency to have as a basis for this. I think that's enough, yeah, for this transformation. Oh wow. So yeah, no wonder. So the High Priestess comes out. Scorpio, go figure. I think you are the High Priestess. So 2 is like just a continuation. 2 is all about the conversation, communication in relationships. The High Priestess and the Moon is so closely linked, is what I feel. And Scorpio, you are my Moon children. With the High Priestess, there's like something being unseen, or is going to come up to the surface. Something is going to be revealed to you, and this is your love reading. So if you feel like, yeah, I understand what that means in terms of my relationship, there's something that's going to come up. And I don't want to scare you, because that's not what it feels. It just feels like maybe like you're going to have a conversation about something. Something is going to come up. And if you're single, this is like something around your love relationship is now being revealed. It's coming to your understanding. It's sort of being an insight is being brought to you, or you're receiving this insight. And then there's something with the golden age keeps coming out in various ways. It's just a golden staircase there. A lot of purple and a lot of blue. It's like indigo blue. It's a purple border. I started out, like I said, with those purple dots that just flew around. It feels like you're connecting the dots. You're connecting in spirit. Can we just please focus? or not. And then I just have to say there might be a connection somehow with Leos, because we have 4 Leo or lion heads here. Maybe you actually see them. There, if I just keep my finger there, there's a lion head, and right behind it there's a lion head. I have to move it. There's a lion head and there's a lion head. So you might have Leo in your chart. You might be dealing with a Leo. It might just represent that it's a lot of power and a lot of strength coming out right now. And then we have a completion. We have a completion of you choosing sorry for taking some time there. There's a barrel, and a tunna in Swedish. There's a barrel here, and on the I just need to say that first. What comes out around that first is like we have this metallic or silver little rings around it, and then there's like one ring is missing, and then there's a ring on the bottom. Can I get some clearance on that? Yeah, okay, so there's like and of course it couldn't be. I shouldn't interfere with that message, but I will. There couldn't be a final full circle. It's sort of like it almost feels like there's a final full circle. Like we always have these something comes full circle. You did that, and that came full circle, and we moved on to this. And so there's always like a moving on to something new that is then going to come full circle, and then to something new that's going to come full circle. And we just keep doing that. We keep repeating that. But there's something to it that this is the final full circle. Like when you put that final full circle here, and there's something around, I'm drawn to talk about the energy system. There's the chakra system. You barely hear me speak about the chakra system, because just like God, you never hear me speak about God, because I think that God and chakras and all of that, it just has so much preconceived, it is just so much. If I say God, you immediately associate that with religion. And this is not about religion whatsoever. This is about source and spirit and the universe, which has no religion. And also the chakra system is like, and I don't mean to sound condescending, but I think that there's not many people out there using the words chakras and using that sort of as, if you just cleanse your third chakra, all the I'm sorry, but it's just, we've so many more chakras in our body. If we're going to talk chakras, there's so many more chakras in our body than we can count. There's so many energy points in and around us that is like we're a never-ending being. We're not solid. So, sorry for making it a bit personal and a bit like, that's not the message. The message here is that, so I am drawn to talk, I sort of have to talk about this chakra system, and sort of, it's like I'm refusing a bit because it's not my personal, I wouldn't go there, but maybe there's something to it now because I'm inspired to talk about it. So in terms of where this full circle is going to come in, it sort of inspires me to talk about the chakra system. I would rather call it the energy system. It's still flawed. That is like your creative and sexuality. This is the orange border. So the orange represents the sacral chakra as well. So it sort of fits. I'll give them that. Those upstairs or whatever they are. There's something to it, that something around your creativity and your sexuality is sort of is coming full circle. So if you've struggled, I mean, it's such a broad topic, and I don't want to stay too long on this, but it's because it's such a specific message. But if you feel like you struggled creatively, like if you feel like the passion that you have, and it's so fun when it really now get going. We have the number 10 and we have 1010 on the clock. When we talk about passion, creativity, something that you're really excited to do, I think it's been very little about your true passions in life. And when it comes to your sexuality, that's also such a broad area because it can mean so many different things. But if you struggled both physically and energetically, it can either be that you're imbalanced sexual wise, like you're either you feel like you're almost a bit of a sexual I don't know where to draw the line here, but it's like it's a bit uncomfortable, and only you know, right? Only you know if your sexual, I mean, Scorpio, your nature is sexual. If we're generalizing the sign, the zodiac sign here. Okay, get to the point. Can I just get some help and reveal this? If you feel like you're really having, almost like you have an indulgence, like if you want to, what is that called? You're abusing it, like it's not like you're sexually abusing somebody. Like alcohol, you're abusing alcohol, or do you say that? Alcohol abuse? I don't know. If you're overdoing it, and not literally, maybe, you might feel like there's been an imbalance. Maybe there's been way too little sex overall for you, or way too much of it. Like you crave it. There's an imbalance within that energy center. It can also be that you feel really deprived, like energy wise, and so it's sort of almost like a blockage there, and that blockage in itself can cause a lot of physical stuff. Like you can get if I go to the woman, because it's easier because I am a woman, if I am blocked in my sacral energy center, and it takes a physical toll, and there's so many women that are, it's so freaking interesting. There's a lot of urinary infections, urinary traction infections. Is that what it's called? Urinary, it's yeast infections. It's that's where we change the cells of to sort of get to cancer. I should just now, for the love of myself, say I'm not a doctor. I'm not in any place to give you any advice of that. That's not what I'm talking about here at all. I'm just saying the blockage of it starts somewhere. And so you do the math for you guys. Like it sort of can take a physical turn when it's a bit blocked and it's a bit imbalanced. The physical stuff also gets imbalanced, right? That I'm trying to get to that this has come full circle. There's something around it that is now balanced out, which means there's a good flow in the existential. Is that the same thing? Yeah, existential. Thank you. Existential. That you feel passionate when you wake up in the morning. You feel excited. You feel like you have a purpose. It's all of a sudden bigger meaning. Sexual wise, you physically can sort of even that out. So it's not a drive from when you're completely in balance here, when that full circle is laid in its place, and the energy centers are more in alignment, you don't come from a place where you're imbalanced and you sort of scream to get that fixed. And so you're always coming from that place where you feel like you don't get your creativity out there, or you feel sexually frustrated, or however, like blocked. You can be, and when you're a woman, you usually don't even want to have sex. It's like, I know it's very generalizing, so take this with a grain of salt. So what I'm trying to get to here is that there's something about something, the thing about the thing that has come full circle, and it's the last full circle. I don't even know what that means. I hope that resonates with some of you guys, and you're not going to sort of go down that path again. You're not going to be blocked in the same way ever again, is what it feels like. But there's something about we're leaving this barrel behind. It's like we almost sort of leave this whole energy system behind and move on. This is, she yelled, is going to attract so many different things for you. And when it comes to love, it is like, it's almost easier to explain if we take the creative part. Because it's like, if your creative juices are getting going again, like if you feel passionate about life and you feel like your creative ideas are starting to flow again, that's going to attract people that wants to come in and have a part of you, that wants to collaborate with you, that wants to give you maybe business ideas, or you're having a lot of creative ideas. Stuff like that is going to start to happen. It's like you're going to be a magnet for that creative side, so that you're going to sort of be able to get that out of your system, start to produce things from a balanced creative center, which is just so feels really good. On the sexual part of that, it's like or the love, you're going to attract not from a flawed, imbalanced sacral energy center. You're going to attract somebody, it's almost like you don't even have to go there anymore. When it's functioning, it's so interesting, because like if I do healing work, most people have maybe 90% of the body is working, and then 10% is out of sorts, and it's that 10% that we're focusing on. And it's no wonder, because we should be 100%, right? But that's what we're doing. I'm getting itchy now because the energy is getting going, and it's a bit too high, what I haven't acclimated to, and that's when it becomes itchy. I'll calm down in a minute. Yes, so there's if the sacral energy center is now in balance, it's almost like it just takes care of itself. You don't even have to come from that point. You're moving up, and it feels like the rest of the centers here are already like in balance, which means you're going to come somewhere from around the heart, which means there's going to be such a different, if you're in an already committed relationship, you're going to start to see, and if that person is with you on that journey, I have to say, if that person is with you on that journey, on your journey to a higher path, to higher learning, to understand, just wanting to expand as a human being, if they're with you on that journey, you're going to start to experience way deeper connection with your already committed person. If you're single and you want to meet somebody new, it's going to be nothing of what you ever. It's almost, I know, again, I'm generalizing, but it's almost like you've attracted people from a non-functioning sacral energy center, because there's been so much focus on getting that organized, and maybe you haven't even been aware that it's been so imbalanced. And you have to feel that if this is the truth for you, because it's very specific messages, so it could just be for a few of you. And now instead, you're going to, without not like even realizing it, you're going to come from your heart instead, and you're going to attract, because it's like you don't have to point out anymore what is imbalanced, and so you don't have to attract from that place anymore, because it's healed. And so then naturally you attract from the heart. And so I feel with this whole, from this barrel, comes a lot of messages from the little barrel, is the final circle, is the final full circle. And it's like, you take one last look down the basement because you're not going there. Gabriel's like, we're trying a different route this time. We're going through this portal. We're trying a new path. Still dark. Doesn't mean that it's negative. It's dark matter. It's just, it's into the unknown, but it's beautiful unknown. Wow. And it's a completion. It's number 10. It's just a full completion. We're putting that behind and moving on. And you are moving on. We're going from that into King of Ariel. And King of Ariel is like the highest possible energy around the person. So this is you in very questionable clothing. I keep saying that. But I don't know what's up with these guys or gals in the dresses that they're picking out for them. But maybe this is you on Halloween. Maybe he wants to focus, please. So, what an upgrade. It's like it just wants to show how rich you are, abundant. You're so successful. And obviously this could be a woman as well. The king is not gender specific, but it can be a woman as well. It just wants to show like you've set the table. It's so much gorgeous, like the little fruit basket there, or fruit thingy happening there. We have a treasure chest which is just full with riches. I don't want to say that it's not money, because like I said, when you open up so many, when you're reaching that place where you're so in balance, you're going to start to attract a whole bunch of things, like a whole bunch of things. And so that could be riches in terms of money or support or people coming into your life. You're just a big magnet right now, attracting things. But this is King of Ariel. So this is the highest possible energy around the person in terms of love. So you're holding the standard for your love connections now is really, really high. I almost want to promise to you, you won't be disappointed whoever you run into, because it's like you can't attract anything else. I'm not saying you can't have shitty days, and I'm not saying that those people coming into your life can have shitty days. Your emotional system still works, if that makes sense. Like you can be a really high vibrational being coming from the heart center, but you can still have your emotional system, meaning you can still have an off morning, even though you're coming from your heart, if that makes sense. So that you don't think it's a machine that you're attracting. If that makes sense. Oh, it almost focused there for a bit. Maybe that's what I'm going to do in the future. It's a bit glary. Okay. Wow, it feels like you're receiving whatever you should receive. So, what else for beautiful Scorpio? I love this. I absolutely love this. Wow. So, 4 of Ariel drops out first. Not drops out, comes in. Treasure chest with money there again. So for some of you guys, there is an actual message here that there's money on its way. You've opened up a more abundant energy around you, and so therefore there's going to be money coming in as well. Here's the huge, like, number 4 is all, like I said in the today's date. Number 4 is all about the heart matter and all about a foundation. Please, there you go. And it's 4 of Ariel, so it's your heart is in love. Like you're really, that's what I've been saying. You're coming from your heart now. It's really, really beautiful. And what a foundation! Like this rock solid house, which is to me just a representation of you. You really have found a strong, strong foundation within inside of you. It's really gorgeous. And then we have the 5 of Raphael. And 5 for me is all about change and life path, like you're changing your life path. And I just want to read out on the bottom, it says, everything happens for a reason. Release regret and embrace the opportunities for happiness. Search for the silver lining. And I feel like with Raphael, it's all about healing and becoming whole. And you have become whole. That's what I say. You've laid a new foundation. You're solid as a rock, as a samurai, apparently. And this can be both a woman and a man. You're dressed in a green dress from head to toe. It's like you're fully in your heart energy center. This green is representing the heart energy center. And it's so freaking beautiful because it's talking about how you opened these gifts before and even how lousy they were. Even if somebody was really focusing on more the lovey-dovey stuff, like the romance, like having the idea of how a romantic partner or romantic relationship should look like. That was happening at one stage. There was a big spiritual opening with another person. It was like, there's so many different things that has come, but the point here is that there's been gifts, even though sometimes it feels like they're not gifts. They are. They're coming with lessons, so to speak. And we've opened a lot of those before, but they were not for you. They were for you in the moment that they were, but now it's like, and I almost see this hand beaming from Raphael. He probably always are because he's the healer, so he has healing hands. Maybe there's something there to it. Maybe for a couple of you guys that you really have healing hands or something with the hands. He's really pointing you in the right direction. He's really like with his energy, almost like leading you. Here's where we're going, and there's no struggle on your part. This is like, and I just want to say, if you're in a committed relationship, this is issues. There's no such thing as a perfect relationship when it comes to being happy all the time, or these are issues that has been addressed, get it, and we've opened them and we looked at them and we talked through them and we got through it. I love that analogy. And now, like, it's almost like I want to say that before maybe you had the right lighting and before you maybe had the right surroundings, but there's something about this dress is new, this green is new. We're coming from a more whole place now, where you maybe were a bit fractured before. Like I said, I don't want to like say you're perfect now, but you're coming from the heart, and that's a big difference. And so then we have a mirror in front of you, and you're always attracting from the outside what you're vibrating on the inside. We just can't get around that. This time around though, the gift there, so if we start with, if you're single, there's a gift here, and the gift is unwrapped. Excuse me, unwrapped. No, it's not unwrapped. It's wrapped, but it hasn't been opened yet. Sorry. Thank you. It's a good thing I have guidance. But what it shows you is that what's being mirrored to you, because if you look closely, the package, the gift is also green. It has a yellow ribbon around it. And if we do colors here, it just speaks about how the solar plexus is in the right place with a lot of confidence and self-worth and self-knowledge. So it's like you're looking yourself in the mirror, and what's being given to you as a gift this time is a true match to your heart. And if you're in a committed relationship, this is what you're going to start to attract from your already partner. If they're game, if they're in on it, if they're on the same path as you. Absolutely beautiful, because look at what we're stepping into. And then we have 13, and then we have 17. So 13 for me is the divine feminine, and it's all about peace and releasing the past. You're done with the past. We've come, for some reason, one last time, full circle. And we're stepping into complete bliss, complete peace. There's something again with the energy around the... It's like you're maybe working with your hands, or you're there's something with the energy around you that is becoming stronger. You're stepping in, whether you're a woman or a man, you're stepping in more to the feminine energy, the divine feminine energy, which is just being more ready to follow the insight, follow your intuition, not so stubbornly want to sort it out, or want to organize, or want to categorize, or this is this and that is that, but just go with the flow a bit more. And in terms of love, this is just completely gorgeous. And then we have 17, which is the immortality number. It's a never-endedness. It's like such a beautiful number. And then when you add it up, I mean, first we have the new beginning with the number 1, and 7 is the completion, to just start to enjoy. I do apologize. Start to enjoy your journey, because it's like you landed at the right place at the right time. The timing is perfect right now. Probably synchronistic events is shooting through the roof for you, through the sky. And we have the star here. The star is all about the wish fulfillment. What a wish fulfillment. It's like you couldn't make up a bigger star if you wanted. And it always looks like there's a heart. It's sort of a chopped up heart, because it's like we can't fit both this lady and the heart, so we sort of have to take the lady. It's sort of what it looks like. But if you were to continue up here, it looks like it's a wish fulfillment in love. It's like a love heart around it. And you might be dealing with the Gemini, because it's two of the same there. It's also justice. It might be a Libra. You might just have a lot of that element to you in your chart. But what it feels like, it's equal emotion. You're going to emotionally feel the same way that they're going to feel. There's an equal meeting here. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you could feel the energy I feel around this, it's so calm and loving and kind. It's not, what is that word? Sometimes I'm being given words that I don't know. Pretentious. Pretentiös. Pretentious, yes. It's the same thing. Pretentious. Is that the same thing as pretending? No, pretentiös. Yes, okay. Stop it. Pretentious is not pretentious. It's real. Okay? And it's absolutely gorgeous. This is describing your relationship, whether you're in one already or this is the person that you're meeting. Really, really beautiful. The star, wish fulfillment, it's happening. Okay, I'm a bit over time here, but I'm going to move into now the silent part with 14 cards, and you now know why. So if you want to fast forward, please do. Maybe that was enough already. I don't know, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why you know? Really? Okay. Excuse me. One more. Okay. Wow, I thought it was. Okay. That last one sort of just came out because of the momentum of the other cards, but it was the wrong card and they wanted to have another card. So apparently important. And I saw what it was. So yes, I can agree. I'm going to show you 14 cards. I'm not going to talk. Please remove any sort of sound if you want to. If you want to put in earplugs, if you haven't already. Just feel what you're feeling within the cards and within the energy that is here right now. And if you feel drawn to the extended, the link is in the description box. Happy journey. Set the intention to go back to the blueprint if you want, or just scale away anything that anybody has ever put on you that is sort of falsehood when it comes to love and everything around it. Here we go.